I want to be discovered. To explain what I mean with this sentence, I'm going to go not word by word, but more or less component by component. So, for example, this I want part, the very important part of this is the I part, right? I want to be the person who gets discovered, right? So I want it to be as real of a representation of myself and like what I am or who I am or these things as possible. So I don't want to like heavily tailor myself to someone. Then the other part of this is the be discovered part, right? So there is passivity in that, right? I want someone else to find out who I am, right? Then obviously this has some thought behind it, right? And well, some things you could say against that, and that is what brought me to say this. So this is what brought me to say this. I've made a video recently about my skill set, and it got a lot of comments actually. Well, a lot of back and forths, and yeah, essentially they were like not against precisely, but yeah, kind of saying that my way of doing it was not ideal, and I agree. And this line especially, it says you should plan some narrative and don't expect others to find a job for you. For one, that's unrealistic. Even if it would happen, you can be 100% sure that such job won't be perfect for you or for the employer, but for the employer. And I agree. I think that feedback is basically right? They noticed that what is going on is this passivity or this sense of wanting to be discovered instead of me going after jobs, right? Instead of me like properly job hunting. And they noticed that this is a bad aspiration, right? Because I guess you could say that it's passive and out of control, right? The sentence itself put it well, right? Don't expect others to find a job for you. That's unrealistic. And even if it would happen, you can be 100% sure that such job won't be perfect for you, but for the employer, right? Yeah, there are also considerations of who would actually be willing to put that effort and for what purposes, right? But that is when I wanted to come up with like my retort, which is this video. My retort to this is basically that I don't want to fall for what Visa like highlights here, right? I don't want to fall for the imagination deficit. That is kind of the most staggering thing in the human realm, right? Like I don't want to fall for the lack of imagination just because I cannot uh, figure out a job where someone would find it for me, and job wouldn't be perfect for me, right? Just because I can't figure out what the perfect job would be right now at the moment doesn't mean that I don't want to like open myself to that and to really give that possibility a shot, right? And to put myself out there in a way where that happens, right? That is kind of what I am building my frame on it, right? And that is why my video is honest in that way, right? I don't disagree that my video that video was bad, but it was honest at least, right? And yeah, that is essentially what I think about this, right? Right? I think I am doing like the right things for this. I'm trying to not should have open the right doors would be the right thing to say, but I think I am at least putting myself out there in an honest way. I'm trying to communicate ideas that I care about or things that I think of, how my mind works, in a way that people could find interesting, right? I think that is what is kind of happening here. I think I am doing the right things for that to happen and for not be extremely unlikely. I know it's still extremely unlikely, but it's not impossible, right? And I think I'm doing things to prevent the fact that it is impossible, right? To Because there are some cases in which it's impossible, right? If you are simply expecting your parents or whatever to give you a job and to give you a job that you want and you know really clearly like the limitations of them, then it's unrealistic. But when there is like such openness available, I don't want to be that lack of imagination to be the limit, right? That's why I'm doing all of these things, I think. And I don't know, the last thing I wanted to say in this video was that this doesn't mean I am putting all of my eggs in that basket, at least all of my mental eggs, right? But I think I am in a position where I can afford to do this, right? I don't have expenses, right? I don't have a family to take care of or anything like this for the moment. So for the moment, I am putting like a lot of, not sure if energy, time, or certainly time, but I'm putting like a lot of this into seeing if it could happen, if it can happen, and trying to figure out ways in which it can happen, or trying to figure out paths that could lead to more possibilities of something like this happening, versus closing paths. I think that is like a fair strategy. And for example, if someone commits super hard to something really concrete, I respect that a lot, right? But it's not my time to do that at the moment. I think that is my opinion. You feel free to disagree or whatever. And yeah, that's essentially all I wanted to say on this video. Feel free to comment stuff here, because that is what makes me think whether I'm thinking the right things or not. And yeah, bye. You can hire me if you want, by the way, before. So yeah, this is the video with of my skills. You can see what I am opening myself up to be hired for. And judging by the comments, it's actually a pretty bad video that does not really conduce anyone to hire me. But I don't know, I'm open to seeing who would hire me based on this video. So yeah, definitely do. And yeah, comment. If you don't want to hire me, at least comment something of what you think about my approach, or what you want me to speak of next. And yeah, that's it.